Okay, so now we're just going to put our letters on. And I like to stagger my letters. I don't know if you can see that. I like to kind of start with my middle letter too, so that I work my way out. And I kind of wanted the G on this one to be a little higher so that my time tag could fit right in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and give you a minute to use your alphabet off of the etc. 12x12 chipboard. And if you don't want to say Snuggle Time, you could choose a different word. So it's up to you. Just go ahead and put your title on. Okay, now you're going to take that little string from the tag and make a tiny little bow. You can start out making your bow kind of big and then kind of tug it down smaller. So we just want a tiny little bow on that L. Tiny little bow. And I'm not actually tying it around the L. I'm just going to put it on top so it has the appearance of going around the L. Because it's such a tiny string, it's kind of hard to do much with. So then I'm going to glue that right onto my L. And then I'm going to put some aqua colored bling right on top of that. And I also heard from several people that the Snowfall bling was out at their local stores or they couldn't find it. So the Ad Lib bling is the exact same color, just an aqua color. So if you can't find the Snowfall bling, you have other options. And I'm just going to put one little bling right in the center of my bow, and then I'm going to put a little bling right on top of those clock hands. And then I'm going to do a close-up of this page so you can see it close up. But I want to show you on this album, I've gone through after I was done and I've painted on some glitter glue all over my letters and the album, but we're going to wait until we get done with the pages to do that so that it's not wet as we're trying to do our other side. So we are going to add that glitter, that sheen that you can see on there, but we're going to wait a little bit later. So there it is with the bling. Okay, we're moving on to the inside of the front cover, and it looks like this, and it's actually a pretty easy page. If I had to rate this album, this class, I would probably say it's probably more on the beginner's side. There's not a lot of really in detailed type techniques and stuff, so I would say it's more on the beginner side, but hopefully we'll share a couple little techniques that maybe will spark some inspiration. Okay, it tells you just to have some fabric scraps, and I literally mean scraps. It does not even matter, but we're just going to cut, and I'm not going to have any rhyme or reason, just 4 or 5 little strips of some kind of fabric. I really like, I don't know if you've seen this really cheap muslin, and it's really on the cheap end of muslin, but it pulls apart and you get all these little strings, and I don't know why, but I just love all the little strings hanging out. I just think it adds so much character to your project, whatever it is. And I also use these little strings for everything, so this makes me happy. Okay, so you're just going to lay these pieces on top of each other, and if your muslin falls apart like mine, you can use that as your string. If it doesn't, you can use the rest of your string from your tag that you put down somewhere where you'd remember. And just tie it super tight around the center with a knot so that it doesn't come undone. And then I just leave my strings hanging, and then we are just going to play with it until we get a snowflake, a little fabric rag snowflake. And we're going to give it a haircut so that it fits nicely in here. So just kind of get it rounded as good as you can. And then set that aside for a second. And now you're going to take a piece of your Snowfall snowflake, and there's 3 big snowflakes down the side. Take one of those glitter snowflakes and just cut it out. And you can't see the exact edge, but don't be picky. Just cut best you can right along that edge. Now you're going to just place it in the center, And then if it's a little bit too big, just kind of trim it, and it'll spray and fall apart as people go through and open the pages and look at the cute pictures of your children's toes hanging out of a blanket, or whatever it is that you put in your album. So now we've got that. Now you're just going to take a button from your etc. button. I think etc. Yeah. So we have our etc. buttons, and you're just going to go ahead and take a brown button and add some bling. We're going to put that right on the top of there and glue that all together, and we're going to place it on the back of our Snuggle Time. Alright. Piece of cake, that'll stick a little bit better when it's dry. And I feel like that page was so simple, and I don't know why, but it just makes me happy. All the little stuff. It's a fun, happy page. So, move on to the next one. And like I said again, we're going to come back and we're going to paint over it with glitter so that the whole thing glitters and glimmers and shows itself off. Now we're going to move to the first page here. And when we get to this word part, I chose cozy because, you know, snuggling in blankets or snuggling by the fire is a cozy thing, but you've got the whole alphabet in your combo sticker, so you can go ahead and spell whatever it is that you want to spell. So we had told you to have a circle cutter to cut out this circle, and the circle on here is 3 3/4 of an inch. However, I found that this jumbo circle punch works just perfect. So out of the back of the paper that you just used, the flake, you're just going to punch a circle or cut a circle. So another thing I'd like to know, what's your favorite circle cutter? What ones do you like? Do you use your cutting machines, your silhouettes? Do you use punches? What's your favorite cutter? Leave us a comment and let us know what your favorite is. So we've got our circle, and this white represents the photo. So if you don't have your photos with you right now, make sure that you just don't put adhesive on this part so that you can tuck a picture in there when you get to that point. So we're just going to go ahead and start with our ribbon and make a bow. Make a bow at one end of your ribbon. And then again, I cut my bows off and I actually adhere them right on top of the ribbon rather than actually wrapping my photo. It's a little bit less bulk. And not to say there's anything wrong with bulk, because as you can see, I enjoy a little bulk. But I don't know why, just, you know, have your picture sitting up off the ribbon. I like to fake it. So the photo that I have here is 2 inches by 3 inches. And if you're going to wait to do your photo, just put a little adhesive on one side, like that, and then glue your bow onto the top so that you're able to tuck a picture in when you get those ready. And I would probably normally use a blue dot right here, but because it's handy, I'm going to use that. So I've got my circle, I've got my photo mat. Now on my 12 by 12 chipboard, I'm just going to pick out 3 snowflakes. I like the graduating sizes here. So you're just going to pick out your snowflake, and from your trinkets, your snowfall trinkets, which, don't you guys just love these? They're so gorgeous. These 3 big ones here that look like snowflakes, I just love them. We're going to put one of those on our biggest snowflake, and then again we're going to use a button and some bling to put in the center of that. I'm just going to go ahead and glue all that together and put it on page number 2.